All right, good morning, traders. Today is March 3rd, 2025. Thank you for being here. My SPY pivot this morning, 588.36. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. All of the Fab 5 are in daily downtrends still. IWM, QQQ, FNGU made lower lows, lower highs, closing under bearish traps under their 17 EMAs. Diamond Dow made an outside day, closing over a bullish trap, but under the 17. SPY made a lower low and a lower high, closing under the bearish trap, also under the 17 EMA, with a 2-hour uptrend and a 10-minute uptrend. We could see a change in character. Gold and silver made lower lows and lower highs, closing under bearish traps under their 17 EMAs. USO made a lower low and a lower high, closing inside a bearish trap under the 17. UNG made a lower low and a lower high, closing below a bearish trap over the 17 EMA. US dollar index still in a downtrend, closed near the 107.33 area. SPY max pain for today is 589 with only 3/4 of a put to each call that expires today. We could see some window dressing this morning. We'll see. May get some window dressing, meaning that a lot of 401ks and IRAs may be doing their all those monthly distributions that came in from employees might be getting allocated today. So we could see a rise in probably the FNGU, because that would probably be where they want to put it. We'll see what happens. All right. Let's go take a look at some charts. All right. SPY, 10-minute. Okay, you got the candles, the 3 EMA, that's the yellow line, up over the white line, that's the 8 EMA, over the green dots, those are considered the 17 EMA. So we have a 10-minute uptrend coming into the close. Possible exhaustion candle. We'll see. We're already gapping up in the morning, so it may not be an exhaustion candle. So there's SPY. On the 2-hour chart, we have a two hours still. We got a bullish cross. All right, I'll just put it that way. All right, SPY's got a 2-hour bullish cross right there on the 2-hour chart. On the daily chart, okay, we've got ourselves a lower high and a lower low, closing inside a bearish trap under the falling 17. Here's the low. We made a lower low. That puts us in a downtrend. So SPY still in a downtrend, but up in quadrant 4, that is bullish. You can see price action bouncing off of this breakup candle low anchored VWAP right there. That valley right there, that valley low anchored VWAP. You can see price action bounced off of there again on Friday. All right, so there's SPY back up in quadrant 4. That's still bullish. We may be under the 17, but that's still bullish up there. Okay, if they lose the upper third, then that's all over. All right, don't lose the upper third. There's SPY. Let's take a look at QQQ. Actually, let's look at the game plan. All right, so on the game plan for today, I like price up over where yesterday's closed, so up over 594.88. That's my bullish entry. All right, I like 4 DTE or 11 DTE Friday options, $2 to $5 out of the money for small accounts. SPY pivot, 588.36. You can see where price action came up and pulled back right here. Price action also underneath this 585 area is my bearish entry. So underneath 585 is my bearish entry to the downside. Bullish entry over 594.88. We may get an inside day. We'll see what happens. We may get a doji candle up here after a big long rally up. We'll see what happens. See if they can hold this higher ground. All right, notice they've come up off the bottom And the question now is to see if they can hold the higher ground, or are they going to continue higher. This teal line is the all-time high anchored VWAP. And it looks to me in the pre-market they at least want to get up there and tag it. All right. If they climb on top of it and consolidate on top of the all-time high anchored VWAP, that would be a bullish environment. All right. Underneath it, we're just neutral. But if they get up on top of that all-time high anchored VWAP, hold that higher ground up there, that's a bullish environment. Probably going to want to play almost every 10-minute uptrend. We'll see what happens. Again, like to see them get on top of this and consolidate above it. All right? We still haven't made a higher high yet. All right? Something to make a note of. All right? Failing to make a higher high results in probably a retest of the lows. We'll see what happens. Did we make a higher high over this pivot? Yes. See that little peak right there? That was easy. All right? But we still haven't made a higher high over this or over this. All right? So we got right here and right here. So we could see highs today of 599.51. And heck, if they're going to get it that close, they might as well spike 600 while they're there. All right? So it's kind of pressure on the bulls to make that higher high. All right? Again, getting up here and consolidating would kind of indicate that they're going to go after that higher high up here. We'll see what happens. So there's SPY on a 15-minute chart with the SPY game plan. Let's take a look at the QQQ game plan. Again, QQQ game plan over yesterday's close. I'm bullish. Same options expiration, 4 DTEs and 11 DTEs, $2 to $5 out of the money. 4 days till expiration, 11 days till expiration. That's what DTE means. Price underneath 498.82. That would be my bearish entry. Bullish entry over 508.36. Again, they're going to need price to make a higher high. Guess where the high is? Yeah, it's way up here, around 519.12. All right. Now, they may not do it in one candle. All right. Look for them to possibly consolidate for 2-3 hours and then make a move. We'll see what happens. All right. So there's QQQ. Still on QQQ on the daily chart. Let's pick up a clean one. On the daily chart, still in a downtrend. You can see price. Here's a low underneath the 17. They made a lower low, so they're in a downtrend. Price action, they were unable to close in the upper third. They came close, all right? They're up there now in the pre-market. Could see some follow-through to yesterday's big candle. Again, this is kind of looking like an exhaustion candle right here. See this big red candle down on QQQ? Let's go look at the one on SPY. Again, big candle at the end of the move, looking like an exhaustion candle. So we could see a rip back to the upside. All right, let's head back to QQQ. All right, so here's the daily chart. Failing to close in the upper third, just neutral here. All right, underneath this all-time high anchored VWAP, a prior all-time high. Let's put it on the all-time high. Underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP, not in the upper third, so it's just neutral, all right? They broke major support here, all right? So the bulls, it's imperative that the bulls rescue this, all right? Otherwise, probably going to see a trip down to this number or this number. We already hit the midpoint, so this would be the next pivot lower, and then down to here, 450. All right, so they broke some major support. That's all of this consolidation up through here. So again, breaking the major support with the exhaustion candle, it's a possibility that the bulls are ready to come in and rescue the price action and bring it back up over the all-time high anchored VWAP. The number for the all-time high anchored VWAP this morning is about 520. All right, so we'll see. All right, they're out at 511 now. They could move it to, they've got a 10-day ATR of $9.15. So they could very easily make 920 by end of day. All right, you can see they're already at 511. You add $9 to it, and you can see 520 very easily. All right, so we'll see what they want to do this morning. All right, if the window dressing is going to come in. All right, still in a downtrend on the daily chart, but in the 10-minute, got ourselves an uptrend. On the 2-hour, you're getting a bullish cross right now. All right, on the 2-hour. All right, we'll see if we get any follow through to this big candle. That's the big question. All right, will we get follow through with this, or can they hold the higher ground? Those are the two questions we want to ask. Can they hold the higher ground, and can they give us follow through? All right, so it could be a 1, 2, 3. 1 up, rest over, and 3 is the breakout. All right, so there's QQQ. Let's take a look at Diamond Dow, and then we'll hit FNGU. Diamond Dow on the daily chart. Yesterday's price action, you can see outside day. Higher high, lower low. Closing over a bullish trap. Under the falling 17. Over the all-time high anchored VWAP. Over the uptrend line. In upper quadrant 4, that's still bullish as well. So you got QQQ still bullish. You got SPY still bullish. You got Diamond Dow still bullish. Take a look at FNGU. All right, FNGU, not in the upper third, just neutral here. All right, I think I said QQQ was what, neutral? Let me make sure. Yeah, QQQ neutral. All right, forgive me. I messed up on that one. I meant to say neutral on that. So QQQ neutral. FNGU still neutral, all right? Not in the upper third. Okay, price action for FNGU. We're going to need a lot of help from the FNGU today. Came all the way back, hit the midpoint. Lower high, lower low, closing under the bearish trap, under the falling 17, under the all-time high anchored VWAP, under the uptrend line, no longer in the upper third, so that's just neutral. QQQ, FNGU, both neutral. All right, SPY still hanging on to that bullish characteristic. All right, so let's take a look at IWM. We're going to need some help from these guys too. All right, so IWM entering into the bearish territory. That would be the lower third down here, and then popping out of it. All right, so FNGU almost in the bearish. It came into the bearish territory. And then looks like the bulls decided to have a rescue plan and bring price back up out of it. IWM on the bearish side of neutral or the midpoint here. So IWM kind of like the others, lower high, lower low, closing under a bearish trap, under the falling 17 EMA, under the uptrend line, under the midpoint, under the all-time high anchored VWAP. Is just neutral here, leaning more towards bearish. There's IWMs. Take a look at our technicals. Technicals say a little bit something different. All right, technicals are saying putting in a higher low here and a higher high, ripping all the way back up to the midpoint of the T2122 area. All right, like to see some follow through with that, or at least some consolidation up in this area. All right, we'll see what happens. That's T2122 moving towards a bullish stance. All right, we'll see what happens. T2123, it's a 15-minute chart. Still caught underneath this falling 200 SMA. All right, price action came down and hit a prior all-time high. If we look at it on the 3-bar chart, right there, you can see there's price action hitting that prior all-time high, which did provide some support. So we're getting a bounce now. How far we bounce will be interesting. Putting in a higher low here would probably inspire the bulls to make a higher high. This is the last high. All right, so looking for price action to challenge those highs again. So we could see a rally back up to those highs with a higher low here on T2123. All right, let's take a look at it back on the 15. Again, yesterday's price action selling from the beginning of the day almost till the afternoon, and then after they ate lunch, had a couple martinis, they came in and said, let's go ahead and buy this thing up now. All right, so you can see nice couple of green candles there with a strong one at the end of day. All right, so there's T2123 looking like it wants to head back to the 200. Again, T2123 got to make a higher high. This is the last high. And you can see that's all the way back up there at the 200. So they got a lot of work to do. They may take a couple rest areas along the way before they get there. All right, so we'll see what happens. There's T2123 15 minute. This is the 3 bar. You can see on the 3 bar, 3 more red candle bars with a bounce off of this prior all-time high. Hopefully they make it back to this fading 200 SMA. All right, we'll see what happens with that. FNGU selling from the beginning of the day on Friday all the way till after lunch and a couple martinis. And then you can see buying program came in up over VWAP. We'll see how far they want to take it. All right, so there's FNGU on the 15-minute chart. All right, let's go take a look at a few sectors. First sector let's take a look at XLE. All right, so for XLE, nice rescue there for XLE. That's Friday's candle. You can see Friday closing over bullish cross over the 17, over the downtrend line, up over the midpoint, not in the upper third, still just neutral. Okay, still up over this 12-month high anchored VWAP, closing over that. That's bullish. Got to hold it up there for more than 3 days. Like I said, I like to see 5 days or more. They could only hold it up there for 1, 2, 3 days, 4 days, and then they lost it. All right, so there's XLE. Can they hold it up there for 5 days or more? That would be a bullish environment if they could do that and get that done. All right, so there's XLE, still just neutral, continuing to go up and give it up. Going up and giving it up. All right, they got to get up there and hold the higher ground. Let's take a look at UNG. UNG still up here in quadrant 4. That's bullish. Friday's candle, lower high, lower low. Lower high, lower low, closing underneath bearish cross, but over the rising 17 and over this 12-month high anchored VWAP. Okay, that's bullish up there. Just need it to start moving up. Let's take a look at USO. USO, price action for USO. Make sure I got the right candle. Lower high, lower low, closing inside a bearish trap under a falling 17 in the buy box. I'm still expecting price to come down to this area right here and test this 3-year high anchored VWAP. See that uptrend line and where that meets? I'm expecting price to come down there and make an appearance. All right, right in here. All right, I expect it to probably bounce out of there right back into the buy box, and then I think from there they start making their move up. We'll see what happens, all right? But I'm expecting a move down here, all right? Maybe today, maybe tomorrow. We'll see what happens. USO still in the buy box, still just neutral. Again, they go up and they give it up, all right? I need them to go up and hold it. There's USO. Let's take a look at precious metals. Silver still in an uptrend. They'll be in an uptrend until they break this low right here. That red candle right there. They break that low, they'll be in a downtrend. Silver's in an uptrend, but not moving up. Silver made a low. Silver made a lower high and a lower low, closing under a bearish trap underneath the 17. All right, looking for silver to make a move up here. All right, so there's silver still in an uptrend, just not moving up. All right, let's take this from the August lows down here, put some quad lines on that one. You can see silver still just neutral, okay, going up and giving it up. If they could get up here and hold, see, they got it for 4 days. Like I said, 5's my magic number. If they can get up there and hold for 5 days, that's where it starts looking like a bullish environment. Again, they failed to hold for more than 5 days. They went up and they gave it up again. So there's silver, still neutral, all right, in an uptrend, just not moving up today, all right? So, or recently, right there, okay? Let's take a look at GLD. Gold is bullish. Gold's up here in quadrant 4. That's bullish. All right. Gold is up over a prior all-time high anchored VWAP. Gold's up in quadrant 4. Price action for gold on Friday. Lower high, lower low. Closing under a bearish trap under the 17 EMA. Okay. Gold is bullish up here. As long as that holds that upper third, up over this prior all-time high anchored VWAP, that's going to be bullish up there, okay? Just not moving up recently, all right? Past 4 days, been selling off or cooling off, all right? That was pretty hot up there. Okay, let's take a look at SMH. SMH, just neutral right through here. Again, under the midpoint, under the 12-month high anchored VWAP or the 8-month high anchored VWAP. Price action down here under the midpoint, so that's just neutral. If they enter the lower third, which it kind of looks like they did on Friday, all right, and then the bulls came in and rescued them, all right, so there's SMH, just neutral, and actually on the bearish side of the midpoint here, so not looking real bullish at this time, okay, so again, they continue to move up and give it up. All right, so that's just neutral. Let's take a look at XLK. XLK, not in the upper third. It's close. All right, no cigar though. All right, XLK, just neutral down here. It's kind of weird. They just had an all-time high, new all-time high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days ago. So about a week and a half ago, they had a new all-time high. And now they're all the way back here in neutral land. All right? Again, if you go up and you give it up, that's what happens. You wind up in neutral land. All right? You got to go up there and hold that higher ground. Price action underneath a prior all-time high anchored VWAP, underneath the trap, underneath the falling 17, underneath the upper third. So just neutral for XLK. Take a look at XLF. Financials. Guess what financials did yesterday on Friday? They put in a new all-time high. While the rest of the market was falling apart, okay, the financials put in a new all-time high. Okay? And look at the financials. Moving up, holding the higher ground. Okay, that's a bullish environment. All right, so got a higher low, higher high, all-time high, over the trap, over the 17, printing a new all-time high. Let's go financials. Way to go. All right, let's take a look at IYT. Transports, not in the upper third. They're just neutral under the all-time high anchored VWAP, just neutral. Closing inside a bearish trap under a falling 17. Under this uptrend line, might as well swing this out. No harm there. They still can't get over that one either. We'll see. Let's try to swing it out just a little more. Barely. All right. Maybe that's where it goes. All right. So here's IYT, just neutral. Again, they got to start moving up if they're going to get something done. They continue to move up and give it up. You can see a price move up, and give it up. And they move up and they give it up. They need to get up and hold the higher ground. All right, so that's the secret right there. Hold the higher ground over the all-time high anchored VWAP. All right, that would be a bullish stance right there. Right now, just neutral. Maybe this week, with all the window dressing, we could see price a lot of these sectors right back up here in quadrant 4 or up in the upper third. We'll see what happens. Let's take a look at the economic plan, the economic package, and start with the dollar. Okay, dollar's in a downtrend. We love that. Lower high, lower low. Okay, minor support held over here. Would have really liked to see a break of minor support. You can see price action. If I draw a line across the bottom there, get my line tool out. Okay, if I draw a line right through here, you can. That's the worst line ever. One last time. Okay, you can see price action came into this minor support right through here, and it bounced. All right, still in a downtrend. Price action closed yesterday, Friday, about 107.33. This morning, we're already down to 106.86. That's good news. Okay, if we can ink out a lower low here, start breaking this low, that will start to look really interesting for the dollar and for the market. I think that would probably inspire more bullish activity if we could get price down. Again, the dollar regulates how much, what the currency is going to exchange for. When you got a strong dollar, all right, it takes more foreign money to pay us for our goods and services. So we want a weak dollar. All right, so there's the US dollar. Max pain for today, 589. Got 3/4 of a put to each call that expire at 4:15. These are max pain for today, and these are the puts and calls that expire today at 4:15. On the earnings package, all right, let's take a look at, let's refresh this. Now, Berkshire was supposed to report. I didn't see any numbers come out, so I don't know if they are holding off till next Friday or not. Anyways, Monday, all right, just familiar names, nothing that's going to move the markets. But check this out, all right. CrowdStrike, $93 billion. They're going to report tomorrow evening, all right. Again, some more familiar names: Target, AutoZone, C Limited. All right, more familiar names: Ross Stores. More familiar names, but nothing that's going to move the markets. All right, Wednesday. All right, we got Marvell Technologies, $75 billion. They're going to report in the evening. Again, more familiar names, but nothing that's going to move the markets. Thursday. All right, Thursday is a big number, right? Broadcom's going to report. That's almost $1 trillion, 934 billion. Okay, that's a big number. That's a market mover. Same with this one, Costco, $485 billion. Okay, that's almost $1 trillion. All right, that's 0.9 trillion. This is almost 0.5 trillion. All right, so almost $0.5 trillion. And well over 3/4 of a trillion. Okay, there's a lot of market cap there. That can move the markets. So that's going to be the main event this week. It's Thursday evening when these two report. So Broadcom and Costco due to report Thursday evening. The rest of them, again, some familiar names, but nothing that's going to move the markets. And on Friday, All right, we'll just go ahead and move on to the economic calendar. Today we got PMI manufacturing final 9:45, ISM manufacturing index at 10, construction spending at 10. All right, and that's it. Light day for today. Tomorrow, motor vehicle sales. All right, don't know when that's scheduled to come out, but sometime in the morning. Looks like it's going to be before 8 a.m. All right. Treasury buyback, again, another light day for Tuesday. For Wednesday, MBA mortgage applications at 7, ADP employment report at 8:15, PMI composite final 9:45, factory orders at 10, ISM services index also at 10, and a petroleum report at 10:30. Beige book comes out at 2. Thursday, all right, international trade goods and services, 8:30, jobless claims, 8:30, productivity costs, 8:30, wholesale inventories, 10 o'clock, gas report at 10, and a light day for the rest of the day. And on Friday, we got the employment situation at 8:30. Jerome Powell's going to speak at 12:30 in the afternoon, rig count at 1, and consumer credit at 3. All right, so real light week this week. All right, if the Bulls want to push it, there's not too much to stand in their way except for maybe some jobless claims. All right, so maybe some jobless claims for the morning time. So we'll see what happens due to a lot of government layoffs. All right, so we'll see what happens. All right, traders, that's it for today. I will see you all at 9:15.